So let's go and take a look at how to calculate the induction motor speed with the slip parameters as well as the frequency parameters given. Enjoy. Okay, so a three-phase induction motor has 8 poles and is supplied by a 50 Hz supply. Calculate the synchronous speed, the rotor speed when there's slip of 9%, and then the rotor frequency when the rotor runs at 250 RPM. So let's start at the first question, the synchronous speed. Now, synchronous speed is basically determined by our grid frequency and the pole pairs. So our grid frequency is 50 Hz, and that we have to multiply by 60 to get the per minute value of it, which then ends up being 3000. Okay, so in a single pole pair format, this would technically rotate at 3000 RPM, but because we have 8 poles, it would be divided by 4. Now, why do we divide by 4? Because there is no such thing as a single pole. Poles are in pole pairs. So if they tell you there's 8 poles, there's 4 pole pairs. All right. 3000 divided by 4 is 750. So 750 RPM is synchronous speed. All right. This is the speed that the stator is rotating at. All right, let's go to the second question. Now, what would this be at 9% slip? All right, so let's take 750 RPM, which is a synchronous speed by the stator, and we multiply that by 1 minus 0.09. which in essence is 750 multiplied by 0.91, which is then equal to, let's get it quickly, 82.5 RPM. All right. So, and then number 3 then asks, what was number 3 again? The rotor frequency when the rotor runs at 250 RPM. So we'll take the pole pairs, which is 4, and multiply that by the slip speed minus the speed that it's running at, and then obviously divide this all by 60. All right. So this is basically ties into the definition of slip. If you go and play around with the definition of what slip is, again, synchronous speed minus the rotor speed over synchronous speed, you'll be able to determine this. But I'm not going to cover that right now. So the rotor frequency is then 33.33 Hertz. Alright guys, so that's enough for today. I hope you guys have a good weekend.